Hello Tech Time Travelers, and this is part 2 of our video series on the Sanyo MBC-16 Plus, and today we're actually going to fire it up, so stick around. Okay, so here we are with part 2 of our video series on the Sanyo MBC-16 Plus, which was a computer that was from my youth. It was in our computer lab in my high school. And in part 1, I basically did a physical tour of the machine, took it apart, showed you the insides, made a very pathetic attempt at fixing the plastic on the side there, which I'm gonna have to address again at a later date. And yeah, just gave everybody a glimpse of, you know, what I thought was otherwise an unremarkable PC clone or MS-DOS clone. I'm not really sure if it's fully PC compatible or not. There's some debate about that based on the research that I did. However, I got an unexpectedly large number of comments about the insides of this machine. Specifically, all of the lengths that Sanyo went to prevent this thing from putting out any kind of RF interference, as far as anybody could tell. First of all, there was the metal shield that was covering the entire motherboard. Then there was this spray on the plastic on the backside there, which I'm told is some kind of carbon spray, which basically stops RF leakage from the machine. And then those big circular things, the name of which I'm forgetting right now, but the parallel and serial cables are basically wrapped around them a few times. Apparently that's also to try and stop RF interference. Now, I had thought that this was just typical Sanyo overbuilding, because I've had a few Sanyo products in my life before, and they all tended to be extremely well built. So I just thought, okay, this is just something that I didn't know about. But because of all the comments, I thought, yeah, maybe I'll go back online and just research to see how many machines look like this on the inside. And I did manage to find a few pictures of other MBC-16s, including on Reddit. And you can see the insides, and yeah, there was no shielding on the motherboard. There were no loops with the serial and parallel cables inside. There was no special spray as far as I could tell. And that's kind of what I remember from the very first time when I was trying to remember what this machine was and doing research. The very first pictures I saw of the inside, I'm pretty sure I saw a bare motherboard in there. So this one may have been custom built for some specific purpose, maybe laboratory or institutional use. We don't really know. So anyway, as you can see, I've got the machine pieced back together here, and I have connected up a keyboard and I've connected up a monitor. And doing a little bit more research, searching up the Beltron name, I did find a couple more cards that looked somewhat similar to it. And they were apparently CGA, and they also had the parallel port adapter attached to it. And just based on that and what I could see from the jumpers that are on the card, I'm just going to take a guess here that that's what we've got, because unfortunately I don't have a TTL monochrome monitor. If I'm wrong and it's a monochrome card, I don't think anything bad's going to happen to the CGA screen. I really hope not, because I just got the CM11 recently, like a few weeks ago, after years and years of hemming and hawing and not wanting to pay the high prices that they were going for. And this one is in really great condition. FedEx did not manage to destroy it. So yeah, I don't think there's going to be any problem. I think at worst, it's probably just going to throw up a messy image of nothing. Now, in the event it was a monochrome card in there, I did have a plan, or rather a Plantronics. I got this for 60 bucks on eBay. This is like one of the rarest PC video cards out there, apparently. But unfortunately, this card, as awesome as it is way too long for this case. It just will not fit. It's literally longer than the computer is deep. So that Plantronics is in the dustbin. Yeah, I don't think I have any other short CGA or EGA cards. I really don't have a lot of old PC stuff. I think my AT's got like a short length EGA/VGA card in it, but I'm not digging that out, and I'm not taking that card out of there because I like having the card that's in there. So we'll just see if this will work. That's the best we can do. Now, in addition to the CM11, I have this Computerland keyboard, which is from my Computerland BC-286. It is fully compatible with both XT and AT class computers via this switch here. The BC-88 was the XT class machine, and the 286 is obviously the AT class machine. So I've switched it into XT mode, and yeah, we'll fire it up here and see what we get. It's been a long time since I've seen one of these operate. Listen to that sound. We gonna get anything? Oh, we got a cursor. Okay. The font looks a little bit different to me compared to a regular PC clone. So I'm wondering if this is like a simulated or bitmapped font. Obviously we're getting a disk boot failure message because I don't have anything in it and the hard drive doesn't want to boot, which is not great, but it might be recoverable. I've got a disk here, which has DOS 3.3 on it, I think. So we'll just see if we can proceed. Okay, at least it's trying to boot. Okay. I do love these teak. Are they teak or TIAC? I'm not sure, but these drives I love because they're really quiet and they're super reliable. I can totally see why Tandy used them in their machines. No, I was wrong. That's DOS 5.0. Okay, so that's, yeah, I mean, that seems to be working. Let's see. Well, we can see the C drive, so that's a good thing. Data error. Yeah, it's probably not good. Now, I do wonder if it was partitioned and formatted under DOS 3.3, if it would be a problem with DOS 5. I wouldn't think so. I think DOS 5 would be backwards compatible, but let's just see what happens if we boot off of a DOS 3.3 disk, an actual DOS 3.3 disk. See what happens. And yeah, I don't think this hard drive's working properly, unfortunately. And that's kind of the norm. I have a pile of these drives in a stack somewhere, and yeah, they're 40 plus years old and they eventually give up the ghost. That's just how it is. It's that way in computers and it's that way in people. So, you know, my options here are I could mount a really heroic effort to try and retrieve the data that's on the drive. And that might have some merit just because this machine obviously was a little different than the standard Sanyo MBC-16. And I'm thinking maybe it was in some kind of institutional use. But at the same time, yeah, I've got so many other projects going on here, and I do feel a little bit weird about going through other people's personal data or potentially sensitive company information, stuff like that, that they didn't expect would still be around 30 plus years later and find its way into the hands of a YouTuber. So yeah, my gut is that this hard drive is failing, and I think I'm just gonna go with actually just trying a low-level format, see if I can revive it a little bit. It is unfortunate to lose some of the archaeology that might be on there, but you know, might is the operative word. If the drive is not working properly, there's probably a fair bit of corruption going on there. And the amount of effort I would have to invest to get at that data and the likelihood that I might not be able to get it kind of makes me think we'd be better served to just try a low-level format and kind of go from there. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I went back to the internet and refreshed my memory on how to access the low-level format capability of the controller that's in this computer. So I've copied a debug onto my DOS disk here, and we'll see if this will work. Yeah, I think it's there, so let's see. I'll learn to type at some point tonight. Okay, that didn't do anything. What did I miss? Oops, forgot the equals. G equals C 800:5. Aha. Current drive is C. Select new drive or return for current. Yep. I don't know. I've totally forgotten about interleaves, but I think 3 was the norm, so I'm going to stick with that. Are you dynamically configuring the drive? No. Interleave 3. Here we go. All right, so cross fingers. I've seen this trick often work with drives that have been long disused, but are basically functional. Do we want to format bad tracks? Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Does it hurt anything? Oh, key in bad track list as follows. Oh, no, never mind. Format successful. Okay. Now, is this really going to work? This thing always scares me with how long it takes. Well, that sounds a little better. There's no errors. All right, let's F-disk this. Okay. Nice. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Still have to successfully format it though. That's going to be the next hoop to jump through. All right, so I'll do a format and we'll add the system files. I'm not going to bother with doing the full disk install of DOS because I've only got 20 megs to start with. All right, here's the big test. This thing is not fast at all. Okay, it's got the size right. And it's formatting. Oh, I still enjoy this, like after all these years, you know, like formatting on modern machines just isn't exciting like this. Uh-oh. Yeah, I've definitely got some bad sectors or something going on. Yep, back then you just never knew what you were going to get when you issued that format command. You just sat there and you prayed that the percent completed would just climb normally and not get hung up somewhere. I don't really remember why some of the machines in our computer lab had hard drives, but only some did. I don't know if it was set up as like kind of a backup system so that you could at least do something with the class if the Novell system failed. It all seemed so modern when they first installed it. You had to be patient with these old XT machines. All right. I don't know. I'll just give it a random name. I don't care. And it doesn't make any mention of bad sectors. That's interesting. It seems to have recovered itself somehow. I don't remember exactly, but I think some of these older drives had like spares that they could pull from. So that's great. It's actually doing what it should be doing. Okay, so I'm just going to copy some basic DOS files in there. That's fantastic. Yeah, I just wish I'd had a way to recover whatever was on the drive, because I always love those PC archaeology expeditions and seeing things frozen in time, especially this. This would have been probably frozen somewhere in the very early 1990s. Okay, so that's all there. Nice. Okay, and I'm going to create an auto-exec file. Oops. Always remember that prompt $$P, $G. And then we are going to, shoot, I've forgotten the command. Set? No, path. Equals C DOS. And that'll be Control Z. All right, now for the big test. Does it boot? All by its damn self. Ooh, this is exciting. It's doing something. Oh, there it is. There's our C drive. That's fantastic. We have just a little over 20 megs at our disposal. What can we throw on here? Well, I'm going to do some gaming. So here is King's Quest 3. I do wish it had come with its original keyboard. The Samsung keyboard was kind of unique. It had a really, I don't know how to describe it. It wasn't quite as clicky as this. Felt more like an old school 80s kind of keyboard. Gotta be judicious with this 20 megs because that's all there is. I can't believe we ran whole computers on 20 megs way back when, or even less. I think the first hard drive we had in our home computer was 5 megabytes, which was nothing. And of course I copied it all into the wrong place. Nice. But this is a good workout for the drive. Seeing how it goes. This is why I like to keep the hardware vintage, because you don't get this experience with a CF card. You don't get the drama. You don't get the fear that maybe the drive's just going to finally quit. Okay, let's just delete everything that Okay, let's go into Sierra. Whoops. Nope. KT3. Really shouldn't be doing this on crack. Okay, so that's monochrome. Ugh. But I was kind of thinking that's what was going on. Yeah, let's just make sure. I'm gonna try explicitly calling for CGA. We'll see if that does anything. Nope. That is definitely monochrome. And it does have the CGA graphics overlays. I'm pretty sure this is a monochrome graphics card, but maybe I'll try a couple other games just to confirm for sure. Okay, so I think I'm going to take more of a scientific approach here, and what I've done is I've copied a whole bunch of stuff to disk, some games, benchmark software. I just want to see if I can pin down, what the graphics card is in this machine and how well this machine performs under pressure, because it's been about 30 years since I messed around with one of these. So yeah, I've loaded a few games onto disks along with some utilities, and we're just going to copy some stuff over. And I'm just going to let you listen to that sweet sound of hard drive doing its thing, copying files. I just love the sound of this drive when it's working. Yeah, that's just a sound that you don't typically get from like a compact flash hard drive replacement. It's just, I don't know, this is what brings back the memories for me. Yes, I could run it with, some modern compact flash or whatever media that I wanted to with adapters, but it just doesn't give the same experience. And yes, I know these hard drives are getting really seriously old and they're dying one by one, but there were millions of them made, and I am reasonably confident that even if I lived another 40 years, there's going to be at least a few of these drives still out there that are still working. So that's my strategy. That's what I'm going with. Anyway, we've copied test drive and some other utilities here off camera onto the machine. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is just see exactly what we've got in here. And this is Topbench. This is a pretty good benchmarking utility. Has a pretty big database of various computers of the past, and I think a few of the present even. Oh, well, look at that. It's color. Okay. So it's not a monochrome or Hercules or anything like that. So that might explain why this monitor was getting along with this so well. Yeah, I honestly can't remember if you can hook up a CJ monitor to like a Hercules monochrome adapter. I'm thinking you can't, because I think the resolution is different. So yeah, that should have been my first hint probably that this was going to work. And this might take a while. This is a pretty big list, and this is not a very fast computer at all. Just loving all these historic names and brands popping up on my screen here one at a time. We've been going for about 45 seconds already, and it's still going. So yeah, I'm gonna cut out again here, and I will cut back as soon as this is done. Okay, so that took pretty close to a full minute to load the full database of computers that Topbench has specs for. So now I'm just gonna go to benchmarking, and we're gonna just see, you know, what this thing is, hopefully. Okay, ouch. It most closely matches the following entry in this database: IBM PC Junior. Ooh, with an NEC V20. That's pretty awful. And that's weird that it's saying it's at 4.77 megahertz, because this is actually running at the turbo speed, which is about 8 megahertz. Video adapter is CGA, so it's better than monochrome, just slightly, but not EGA like what I had at school. But yeah, other than that, the stats on this are not the greatest. All right, moving along. Okay, so here's another program that is of the same type of program that I definitely remember using on one of these back in the late 80s, early 90s. It is a typing tutor program, and it's actually called Typing Tutor. I don't remember 100% what program it was that we used for our typing classes. Yes, we had actual typing classes at our school. That's why if you look at an old photo, you can see that the keyboard is kind of on a sidecar out from the computer. And the idea is you're supposed to be able to touch type. You don't need to look at the keyboard. You're looking at whatever your copy is and you're typing that in. And yeah, that kind of made gaming not the best. It wasn't the greatest angle to be sitting at, but yeah, that's what we did. And that was a course that I thought I would do amazing in when I first walked in, because I'd spent years typing on my Commodore 64. Apparently I'd been typing all wrong, and it took the better part of a semester to get it right. But once I had it right, I was getting like 95, 100, so hardly a difficult course once you figure out which hand is which. Anyway, let's see how well my skills have held up after 30-something years. I mean, this could be the actual program that we used. I just don't remember. It's been that long. Letter invaders, okay. Okay. I'm gonna pull the keyboard a little closer to me so I can type properly. Sure, we'll go with 1980. Okay, yeah, we can skip the introduction. I just want to type. So it's gonna test me to see how fast I can type. Whoops. This is where I always screw up. kind of cheating a little bit. I'm having to look at the keyboard because this isn't a familiar keyboard. Okay, so there is the initial test. I actually had to type it out like twice, but I wasn't going to keep you all through that. And overall accuracy 98%, speed is 77 words per minute. Ouch. Yeah, speed breakdown on letters, I'm 92 words per minute, which is decent. I think in our class we had to be like 90 something to get an A. 90 to 100, 110, something like that. Numbers I suck at because I was using the top ones here. And then symbols are a rough point for me. Let's see how TD test drive does. Handle test drive. All right. Oops. Supposed to rev up a little bit before you shift into gear. Oh, it's playable. I think it ran at about the speed on my dad's AT. Uh-oh. Yeah, that wasn't gonna work. There we go. Burn some rubber. And I'm already the most conservative Lamborghini driver in test drive history. Whoa. Just feel the tension just knowing cars are gonna be coming at you. And there's the cops. I guess this is the Pacific Coast Highway. Yeah, this game was the first game that really got me into PC gaming. Oh, and that's it. We're dead. Yeah, so that's working great. Let's see what else we got here. This is Mindshadow. There's a lot of files in Mindshadow. That's all the image files. Yep, that looks pretty much as I remember it. Okay, well that didn't work. I think there was something kind of going funny there, and that might have been problems in the copy process. Let's see, there's Shamus. This should work. This is old school. I don't remember anything about this game, except how to die. Wow. Can you shoot or anything? Nope. Okay, I clearly don't remember how to play this. It doesn't shoot. There's electric walls here. Yeah, I'm not good at this at all. I know I'm supposed to get the question mark things, but damn it, how do you avoid those? Okay, you know what? This is not my game. Let's get out of here. Except I don't think there is a way out of here. Control-Delete just takes you back to the command prompt. Okay. What was the other thing I put on here? Tapper. Okay. It's gonna load. Easy. Not so easy. Nice. Oh. Yeah, that guy, is that deliberate that you hit the key and it just doesn't respond? Is that part of making it harder? I don't understand. It'd be killing it if the keyboard was accurate. No. This is it. Last go. Oh. That's really struggling. And that's that. Yeah, so obviously not everything is working perfectly. This drive definitely has some issues. Let's just try to reboot here and see what happens. Is it gonna make it? No, I think it's having trouble. Let's power it off and see if it comes back. Well, this isn't good. Well, we had a little bit of a revival there, but yeah, this drive is not happy. I think I tuckered this one out. Oh, that's too bad. Well, at least I got a few minutes worth of nostalgia anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna dig more into this and see if there's anything else I can do to salvage this thing, but I think this is probably a hard drive that is slowly going bad. I do have a 40 meg Seagate. Yeah, see, it came up with a prompt there, but doubt it's actually working properly. I think that's taking way too long. I don't know if anybody out there knows of ways to repair these things. I'm not aware of any myself, but like I was saying, I have a 40 meg drive that I bought that was supposedly new old stock, so I might try and swap that out of there in a future video. And yeah, then I'm going to tackle the side and try and put these pieces back together. Anyway, that's kind of it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this little tour of an unusual PC that you don't typically see. In terms of what I think of it, on technical merit, it's not a very great machine, and I think that may be the reason why there's not very many of them out there. It's pretty much a bog standard XT clone. It doesn't do anything really fancy. Obviously this one is just, you know, the bare bones minimum, 640K of RAM and basic CGA graphics, and that's kind of it. They would have been perfect for what my school was doing back in the late 80s, early 90s. I remember spending many an hour happily playing games like Pirates and stuff like that in EGA, which was great, and you know, I was happy with that. It beat, you know, hanging around outside during recess. But yeah, it's not anything that I really felt the need to write home about. It was kind of an inferior machine even when it was current. I was running a 286 at that point. Still really cool to see it again. I'm glad I was able to kind of wait out the seller who was being really stubborn about the price that he was asking for it. And yeah, we're gonna get her back together again. I might actually do retrobraiding on this one just to return it to the original appearance that I was expecting. And if I ever come across a 3.5-inch drive that's the same with the same faceplate as what I remember the school having, I might swap out the 5.25 inch for that. But that's a future project. Anyway, thanks so much again for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, you know what to do. If you didn't, you also know what to do. And yeah, this may actually be the last video that I'm doing in this room for a while. I have actually picked up something which I am planning to film in pretty much for most of my videos going forward. It is a 1966 Bluebird school bus. It's about 22 feet long, and it gives me an additional 125, 150 square feet of extra space that is going to be completely dedicated to filming stuff. And I'm going to set it up with my own custom lighting system and everything, and I'm really looking forward to just getting out of the house and not having plumbing and stuff, you know, flushing toilets overhead, people walking, birds chirping, and all the other noises that this house makes. So I'm hoping that's going to work really well. There will be a video about the school bus. I already announced that I was doing this in one of my community posts, so if you haven't seen it, you can go check those out and you can see some pictures. And yeah, we will definitely see you soon, and hopefully with my day job kind of calming down a little bit and the weather getting kind of nasty, I should be filming a fair bit more than I have been able to in the last couple months. Anyway, thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next video.